Okay, so this time around we'll be discussing the details of the 2D drawing tools. We are in this home tab, and if you press this down arrow, you can actually see some more tools. Right, so for the line commands, basically a line consists of, or it, I mean, 2 points must be specified so that you can create a line. So if I click this, you can see that say specify first point, and then we specify the second point. So for now, I'm just choosing arbitrary points within the space. But if you want to be exact, recall that a line is, let's say from this point to this point, I want to draw a line, for example. Right, so this is point 1 and this is point 2. Then recall that we have this XYZ coordinates so that we can locate the points. Then somehow each point will have corresponding XY value. So let's say X1 value, or let's just say 0, maybe 2, 3. So 2 in X, so that's going to be 2 in X from this axis or from this origin. So we have 2 and maybe, let's just say 1 or 1.5. Alright, so for simplicity's sake, we'll just say so this is it. So that means this is 2 along the x-axis, and right, because this is 1 and this is 2, this is 0, this is the origin, and along the y-axis this is 1. So that means that is 2, 1. So if I know this point, let's say if I know this point 3, 4, maybe I'll write 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then right here probably we'll just say 4, maybe 4, or maybe just write 3. Right, so let's say this is along the 5, along the x5, and along the 3, along this y-axis. So that means that this point will be 5, 3. Right, so let's do this in the AutoCAD. So first point is 2, 1, and then the second point is 5, 3. Right, so here's our 0, 0, or our origin. So I'll press line and then specify first point. So if I know the point, say 2, 1, so 2, then press comma, and then just 1, you can have this. So it's very small because our unit is just this. Right, and then next is, the next point would be 5, 3. So if I write 5, then comma 3, then that's gonna be my point. Right, so what I was writing is 2, comma 1, and then that for my first point, and then for my second point, this is 5, 3. Right, so 5, 3 with respect to this. Right, but sometimes if I want to base my dimensions or my distance from this, instead of starting from the origin, I will base, the second point, I will base it from this first point. Then the distances will be 3. Right, so along the x, that's gonna be 3, and along the y, that's just gonna be 2. Right, so this is what we call relative position, or let's just say relative position, or relative value. Relative value. The orange one, that's the absolute value. That's based on the absolute value based on the UCS. Right. Okay, so let's try this. We will use the relative position. Now if I'll be using relative position, then that's gonna be at, right? So if I start here 2 1, let's draw it again. Right, so let's try it again. Let's delete this. So line, so 2 1 2 1, right? So if I want to get into this second point, with respect to this, if I use this relative position, I'll just write at 3 2. Right, so at, right, so you see here the at 3 and then comma, then 2. Right, so it's still the same line. Right, so that simply means that we can use the we can use the absolute coordinates, or we can use the relative values if we want. Okay, another thing to mention is we can also create this line if we can also create this this same line. We can create this if we know the length, right? So if we know this length and we know this angle, right? So let's say, what is this, 3 3 and then 2, so this will be square root of 3. Alright, let's not delve with the math first, but if we know some length and we know the angle, then we can also create a line. Right, so let's say L, sorry, let's click this L, sorry, click the line. The L is the shortcut symbol, so click this. Let's say specify the first point. Once we know this, you can see here that we have this length dimension that's changing. So let's say we want to be exact, at, let's say 3.5, that's going to be the length, and then angle, the angle will be, if let's say we want a 45 degree, so that's going to be the line. Right, so in short, we can create a line as long as we have these 2 points, and that 2 points can be determined using the absolute scale value or the relative scale value. And also, if we know the length and we know the angle, then we can do that.